Okay, to start this video, you get to see all four of Kailin Chio's performances, including her bad one. And I'm going to explain a little bit about this. Now, Kailin Chio was the all around for this entire meet that LSU versus Missouri. She was the only one that did all of them. Now, I have some complaints about that. You've got one of the six best all around gymnasts from last year from the NCAAs, yet you're relegating her to doing one apparatus. That's it. Okay, I have a problem with that. But LSU beat Missouri at Mizzou 197.675 to 197.5. Now, part of this came because Kailin Chow slipped up. Now, thankfully for LSU fans, the rest of the team stepped up. But all around, Kailin Chow got a 39.6. And you're hearing me say that she slipped up and she had a 39.6. That is quite literally one of the best scores of the year, and she did that. On vault, Kailin Chow was tied for number one with Rayleigh Jackson of Mizzou, who, by the way, had an amazing vault. Amari Drayton and Kailin Chow, all three of them, or Amari Drayton's of LSU, you know Kailin Chow's of LSU, they all had a 9.95. Great vault routine. Now, and Courtney Blackson, if you don't know who that is, that young lady came back from BYU, got a 9.9 in this one. She got to competing twice. Okay, Kailin Chio came in last in the uneven bars. She had a 9.725. She probably would have had a perfect 10, but she didn't stick her landing. And I think I left enough of the audio in there to explain why that mattered. Now, balance beam, Kailin Chow was by herself, number one, 9.975. End of story. Kailin Chow was tied for number one with her teammate Kalia Lincoln on floor, 9.95. This Mizzou team was stepping up, though. Kennedy Griffin and Hannah Horton were tied for second on the floor with 9.925. Lauren McPherson and Addison Lawrence both had amazing performances on balance beam. They had 9.95s to Kailin Chow's 9.975. Uneven bars. Mizzou won that one. Oh, and by the way, Madison Ulrich came in second with the 9.925. Why do you not have the number six all around from the NCAAs competing all around? You only have her competing on uneven bars. You bring in Courtney Blackson, who, by the way, is a really good gymnast. Why do you have her in two, but you don't have Madison Ulrich competing in all four? I've got a problem with that. But Kailin Chow stepped up. She did have that one mistake. It was a landing. You will see that. I think that Kailin Chow, except for that one landing, did amazing. When she sticks that, she's going to be competing with Jordan Childs. I am looking at what she is doing. Honestly, I think that Kailin Chow is the only person that could knock Jordan Childs off in the NCAAs. I really do. But let's let you see her performances. Before we get into the crux of this video, hit like, hit subscribe if you like college sports, because I do college sports, primarily college football, college women's gymnastics, do a little basketball, and other sports on occasion, but that's what I do, college. Also, General Robert Neyland, former University of Tennessee head football coach for decades. had 7 maxims to win any game, but they can also help you if you apply them correctly to your life. The second one is play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That is a maxim that can be also applied to your life. Look for those breaks and take it.
There's 3 of them in the SEC. Here's Kailin Chio following up the 9-8 from Lincoln.
She typically sticks this every single time, Alex. Her timing is just incredible. I don't know.
That type of score had a 9-9, setting a new career high last week. Here's our first look at Kailin Chio. 9-9 on bars last week. A 39.775 in the all-around. That was the second highest score in the nation coming into the week, just because of Jordan Child's ridiculous 39.875 for UCLA.
And she brings some unique gymnastics, and I kind of like to describe her as she's very intentional in her gymnastics and very precise. Watch this huge release move right here called a Corkina. Alex, I really thought that could have been a 10, but she had to hold that landing a little bit stronger, and they got to hold for at least 2 seconds right there.
Following up Mustar, it's all up to Kailin Chio, and I think everybody inside Mizzou Arena can sense the opportunity for Missouri at the moment. Chio coming off the first 10 on beam across the country this year.
We talked about what makes her so good. Having that full pressure on that front foot really makes a difference in these beam workers. She's a fierce competitor, and she's definitely the one to bring up her team whenever there's been an opportunity.
Even with the stumbles on beam, LSU can win with a 9-9 here from Kailin Chio.
So far, it looks like she's capable of that 9-9 with this beam routine. And not only is Kailin Chio such an impressive athlete, but she's also very kind. And from that last performance of herself scoring a 10, she actually thanked her previous 2 teammates for kind of rewarding her to perfection and building her up.
But she's had a long way to wait here.
100%, and this is where you really want to depend on that mental toughness. Shake your body, ignore that outside noise, and really have that inner focus on your performance and your capabilities, and she is fully capable of doing that. Such an incredible full twisting double tuck. Doesn't even have to grab her legs. That's how explosive and dynamic she is on that first pass. And Alex, I'm calling it right now. I believe that Kailin Chio is going to be the next LSU national championship in the individual title. She is so impressive.
I don't think there's a question. Got one last year on vault already.
Combination pass, one of the most difficult, 2.5 punch front. And talking to head coach Jay Clark, she has shown so much growth personally because she's an athlete that holds on to those performances that may not be so good to her standard. And it's really important, especially to her capabilities, to kind of let it go and just be free and just doing her gymnastics.
Okay, you saw that. Kailin Chio had an amazing day versus Mizzou. Mizzou has knocked them off before. And they've got between, well, so many. Hannah Horton was stepping up big time. Kamara Eccles was stepping up big time. Addison Lawrence stepped up. Rayleigh Jackson stepped up. I mean, Kaya Tuskinen stepped up. Mizzou was stepping up. But Kailin Chio, except for that one landing, Holy cow. Uh, she really is. Except for that one mistake, I would say she would have been compete. She would have come as close as anybody to beating uh, Jordan Childs this weekend. I really do. I think that her performance was amazing on all levels. She was in a three-way tie for the vault lead. Balance beam, she was the lead with nobody else. I mean, 9.95 was the next best of anybody. Floor exercise, she was tied for the top score. Uneven bars, the only thing, but Madison Ulrich stepped up because it's Madison Ulrich, and Courtney Blackson stepped up. Hannah Horton did amazing in that one. We need more of this. Jay Clark, really good recruiter, really good coach. What he's done with Kailin Chio is really good. Don't get me wrong. I have no problems with who he's brought in. I just have a problem with one person not being put in there correctly. But that said, Kailin Chio, holy cow. Her entire team stepped up on the one time she made a mistake, and it came down to the wire. It really did. Mizzou is competitive this year. Missouri just, Hannah Horton is a monster. I love watching Hannah Horton. He should have been competing in an all around. I don't know what's going on with Mizzou. Hannah Horton is the person you should be putting in for all around. End of story. She had the second highest score of anybody. If she had been on balance beam, and their balance beam, let me tell you something. Their balance beam, Connor McLean messed up really bad as well on the balance beam. But Grace Ann Davis had a 9.675. Connor McLean had a 9.550. Then you've got Talia Lincoln having a 9.75. Okay, why? But that aside, Olivia Kelly had a 9.775. It was like both teams had folks having problems on the balance beam. But I have a feeling that Hannah Horton, considering all of her other performances, would have been able to step up on that. This was an amazing meet. If you haven't seen it, you should. Quite literally, one mistake is what caused LSU not to break the 198 mark. And in all honesty, Mizzou not putting Hannah Horton in on the balance beam, I think is what caused them to lose this meet. It was that competitive. Kailin Chio stepping up the way that she did in this meet, other than one mistake, shows that she is, end of story, one of the scariest, and she's only a sophomore. Think about that. Kailin Chio is only a sophomore. That means that she is going to probably probably not this year, but the next 2 years, she will probably be able to get the all around title. I could see her helping this LSU team, especially next year, if you position Madison Ulrich correctly. They could get a national title. I honestly believe that. But hey, you tell me what you think. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Hey, that's my video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And comment. Don't forget that either. Hey, this has been Paul with
Artlist.io.
Redneck Thinker Media. I do sports, I do politics. Hit like, subscribe. And y'all, this has been Paul. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.